হাততালি হয়ে যাক উষ্ণতার সাথে আমাদের রত্নগর্ভা 2020 ফিল্ম ক্যাটাগরি থেকে The Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry proudly felicitates Joy Ahsan and her Ratnagarbha mother. জোরে হাততালি প্লিজ। একটু উষ্ণতার সঙ্গে হাততালি পাবো। মুহূর্ত কিন্তু ফুরিয়ে যায়নি, এই মুহূর্তগুলো কিন্তু আমাদের বাঁচিয়ে রেখেছে আজকের সন্ধ্যায়। হাততালি বন্ধ না হয় দর্শক বন্ধুরা। মোস্ট ওয়েলকাম। একটা ছবি তুলতে পারি আমরা একসাথে? আমার ফটোগ্রাফারদের বলবো প্লিজ একটু যদি আমাদের আমাদের এই বাংলাদেশ থেকে আসা এই রত্নগর্ভা মাকে আমাদের তরফ থেকে অনেক অনেক সম্মান এবং প্রণাম জানাচ্ছি। আপনি খুব ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন, এইটুকুই আজকে ঈশ্বরের কাছে আমি কামনা করি। মাসিমা খুব ভালো থাকুন। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। থ্যাংক ইউ। ক্যান উই হ্যাভ অ্যানাদার রাউন্ড অফ অ্যাপ্লজ ফর জয় আহসান অ্যান্ড মাসিমা? থ্যাংক ইউ। শুভঙ্কর দাকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ মঞ্চে আসবার জন্য, এবং মিসেস জয়িতা সেনকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ মঞ্চে আসার জন্য। আমি পরবর্তী ক্যাটাগরিতে যাবার আগে একটু বলে দিই যে আমাদের স্পন্সর্সদের নাম আরেকবার, কারণ উইদাউট দেম দিস ইভিনিং উড নেভার হ্যাভ বিন পসিবল, লেডিজ এন্ড জেন্টলম্যান। তো আজকের এই সন্ধ্যায় যারা আমাদের সমৃদ্ধ করেছেন, আমাদের স্পন্সর্সরা, যাদের জন্য এই সন্ধ্যাটা আমরা করতে পারলাম, তারা হলেন ITC Moms Magic. ITC Moms Magic happen to be our title sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Print media partner Anando Bajar Potrika, in association with Senco Gold Forever Mark and RT Network Solutions, powered by George Telegraph Training Institute. Co-sponsors Amul and GS Marketing Associates. Wellness partners are Amri Hospitals. Banking partners Bandhan Bank. Printing partner Anderson Printing. Gift sponsors are ITC Food, Amul, Titan Industries, Senco Gold, Forever Mark, Hello Heritage, Irony Home Studio, Hermes Voyages, George Telegraph Training Institute, Amri Happy Heart Club membership. Outdoor partner Selville Advertising. Creative partners Response India. Event partners Decalogue Communications. এবং আমার নাম সাহেব চট্টোপাধ্যায়। জোরে হাততালি হয়ে যাক। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। এবারে সময় এসে গেছে আমাদের ফাইনাল অর্থাৎ শেষ ক্যাটাগরিতে আমরা চলে এসেছি। লাস্ট বাট নট দ্য লিস্ট, লেডিজ এন্ড জেন্টলম্যান, আজ এই দিনে রত্নগর্ভা 2020 যিনি লাইফ টাইম অ্যাচিভমেন্ট অ্যাওয়ার্ডটি পাচ্ছেন, তিনি শুধু যে আমাদের সমৃদ্ধ করেছেন তা নয়, আমাদের গোটা দেশকে সমৃদ্ধ করেছেন। তার প্রতি আমরা চিরকৃতজ্ঞ আছি এবং থাকবো স্যার। হি ইজ নান আদার দ্যান শ্রী অরূপ রাহা। ক্যান উই হ্যাভ আ হিউজ রাউন্ড অফ অ্যাপ্লজ ফর শ্রী অরূপ রাহা? Sri Raha was the 24th Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force and served as the Air Chief Marshal from 31st December 2013 to 31st December 2016. He was also the chairman of Chief of Staff Committee, a post occupied by India's senior-most military officers who advises the government and ensures joint manship in the armed forces. Educated at Shoinik School Purulia, 1970 batch, Sri Raha was trained at the National Defense Academy, I beg your pardon, he was trained at the National Defense Academy from July 1970 to June 1973, and at the time of graduating from NDA in June 1973, he was awarded the gold medal for being the best cadet of the 44th NDA course. Subsequently, he did flying training on HT-2 and Kiran, HJT-16 at the Air Force Academy, Hyderabad, before being commissioned into the Indian Air Force as a fighter pilot in December 1974, a fighter pilot, ladies and gentlemen. Besides, Sri Raha has also held many important posts in both India and abroad on behalf of the Government of India. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an honor. This is my utmost honor and pleasure to invite Shri Arup Raha on stage. Sir, আমরা সকলে একটুখানি যদি ওনাকে দাঁড়িয়ে সম্মান জানাই, কারণ আমার মনে হয় এই মুহূর্তটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট একটা মুহূর্ত। Ladies and gentlemen, we are felicitating Shri Arup Raha, the Lifetime Achievement Award of Ratna Garbha 2020. Thank you so much. আমরা একটু এভিটা দেখে নেব। এভি প্লিজ।
So I try to fulfill that wish of my father. So I was sent to Sainik School Purulia, where I did my schooling from 6th to 10th standard. Thereafter, I was selected for National Defense Academy in Khadagwasla, Pune, which is a tri-services training institution, one of the best in the world, and there is no parallel to that in the world as such, because it trains cadets who wishes to become officers in the Army, Navy and the Air Force. 3 years of very hard and difficult training, and then I passed out from there, graduated from there with a gold medal for the President for standing first in overall order of merit. And then I went and joined the Air Force Academy, where the service-specific training was conducted by the Air Force. I learned to fly 3 different types of aircraft there. Hindustan Trainer 2, built by HAL. Thereafter T-6G Harvard, which is the famous Second World War fighter aircraft of the US Air Force. And last stage was on the Hindustan Jet Trainer, Kiran, HJT-16, also produced by HAL of India. So that's how my career started in the Indian Air Force as a fighter pilot. Subsequently, I flew large number of aircraft. First, training was conducted in Operational Conversion Unit in Kalaikunda, which is very close to Kharagpur, and I flew the Hunter, about 50 odd hours on that, and then I graduated to MiG-21, the most, I would say, famous fighter aircraft produced by the then USSR, and subsequently, of course, I became a qualified flying instructor and a fighter combat leader. Fortunately, I had a lot of experience in these 2 areas, and I was selected as the directing staff to teach how to become instructor, who would then go on to take on every issue of flying of the cadets who were joining the Air Force then. And I had the opportunity to train more than 1,000 officers of all streams, be it pilot training, be it logistics, accounts, administration, fighter controllers, air traffic controllers. So I spent almost 2 years plus, and I had the opportunity to train almost 1,000 officers, as I mentioned. I had the opportunity to do the National Defense College, which is higher strategic training for officers of the armed forces as well as the civilian counterparts in the government. That was another experience. Then subsequently, I performed as the commander of, or AOC-INC, Air Officer Commanding in Chief of Central Air Command based in Allahabad and Western Air Command in New Delhi before I became the vice chief, and subsequently I was elevated to be the chief of the air staff, which appointment I held for 3 years, and parallelly, simultaneously, I was selected to be the chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee as the senior most general of the Indian Armed Forces for 2.5 years. So that is my story about my career, how I trained myself, how I joined the Air Force, and I was fortunate to have been elevated to the highest rank in the Indian Armed Forces, to have led the Indian Armed Forces as the chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee.
Sir, could you please share with us any of your memorable any incidents that you remember in your career?
Before I come to that, thank you, Sahib.
Sir.
May I call you Sahib?
Sir, please.
Okay, right. Today is a very special occasion, not only for me, but I think for the entire world, because today is also the International Women's Day. Today is very special because my daughter was born on 8th March for me. She is not here. She's an Indian Economic Service officer. Now, she is in Mumbai serving the government there and in the textile industry. We have in the Air Force a welfare association. It's called Air Force Wives Welfare Association, AFWA. It is meant for looking after the families and wives of air warriors. This task is taken voluntarily by the officers' wives normally, and I'm very proud. They did a lot of philanthropic work. They ran nearly 30 schools for the downtrodden people, young boys and girls who couldn't afford to go to school because they didn't have the monies, couldn't pay for the uniforms, books, or clothes, or couldn't even have 2 square meals a day. And they also run special schools for special children, 10 of them. So, we've been celebrating the 8th of March for a very, very long time. On this special occasion, I would like to convey my humble tribute to all the women in my family who have actually contributed towards me becoming, wherever I am, and which includes my mother. Today, actually, I'm missing my mother a lot. She's no more. She died at the age of 94 in the year 2016 when I was about to retire, just 2 months short of my retirement. I always wanted to keep my mother with me, but we have 5 brothers, 1 sister. She was very keen to live in her own house. Her roots were here in rural Bengal and Calcutta. She actually didn't want to come and stay with me for too long. So she left this world about 2 months before I retired. So that was the saddest day in my life, because I was always wishing to have her with me. so that I could look after her at least in the end of her life. So I would like to thank and pay my tribute to all the women in my family, including my wife, my daughter-in-law, my relations, all my bhabis, na বৌদিরা এবং আমার ভাইয়ের বউ সবাই এখানে আছে, and also all the women who are present here in this hall, all the women of Bengal, India, and the entire world on this very special occasion, because they have contributed immensely towards their families, towards the society, and towards the entire human endeavor. So that is what I wanted to express right in the beginning. And as I mentioned, I actually am missing my mother after seeing so many mothers coming here, feeling proud of their children who have achieved a lot in their lives. And I would have been very happy to have my mother here, but she would have been most probably about 100 years now. And, but I was very fortunate that when I became the chief, she was there with me, as you saw some small clips. She was there to give me the rank. Putting on the rank is a big occasion for anyone, and it was my mother who put on my rank on my shoulder. That was the proudest moment for me. My father inspired me to join the Air Force, be an officer in the armed forces, but it was my mother who actually supported me all the time. She had brought up 6 children. She had to work very, very hard. We had very tough time. My father was a doctor, all right, but we had shifted from, East Bengal to West Bengal. So she had to work really very hard, dedicated manner to bring up all our 6 children, and we all are well established, thanks to her effort. So I remember her contribution, and I learned from her dedication, hard work, capacity to work hard for a sustained period of time. So all these traits that I saw in her actually gave me the strength. And whatever good things she had taught me, I imbibed them, and I think I could put to good use in my career to be, I would say, successful. Now, you wanted to know something about some incident in
Yes,
my
because
life?
it just struck me that we all know about the art of flying, Richard Bach. We've known him through his books. So how was your flying experience? How was life up in the sky? That is what I want to know.
Okay, no, this is not really related to the Ratna Garbha program, but I'm very happy to be here. In fact, I asked the BCCI authorities when they expressed the desire to give me the Lifetime Award, Achievement Award. I said, my mother is no more. But they said, no, you still have to come for this function. So I thought I'll tell you that. The flying is very challenging, very thrilling, very adventurous, and people who have passion for taking on challenges and converting challenges into opportunities and to serve the nation, they are the people who should go into fighter flying, I would say. It's extremely challenging. There are risks, all right, but the risk mitigation process is so thorough in terms of enforcement of discipline, following standard operating procedures, preparing for each and every mission, each and every contingency, emergency failures that can take place in the air or on the ground. You are always prepared for any contingency, any failure. You'll never be found wanting. So the risk mitigation is so good that the risk in military aviation is less than the risk of driving in Calcutta streets. And
This is an amazing information that we were supposed to know this. Yes, of
it is
course.
even lesser. The risk is much lesser compared to the risk you are involved in terms of when you drive on the Indian expressways like Durgapur Expressway. Right. So now let me tell you one important, or I'll say very interesting, life-threatening incident during my flying career, which taught me lots of lessons about professionalism, about, I would say, leadership. This was toward the end of my ab initio flying before I became an officer and a fighter pilot. I had finished flying on the famous Hindustan Trainer 2, one of the most difficult aircraft to fly, but one of the most forgiving aircraft. You could, prank that aircraft, damage that aircraft, crash that aircraft. The aircraft may be written off, but nothing would happen to the pilot. Normally, that's what I saw. Then I also finished the next stage of flying on a very famous fighter aircraft of Second World War vintage of the US Air Force. And I was ready to fly the next aircraft, the Kiran, which is also built by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the jet trainer. And once I would finish that successfully, I knew I'd be given the President's commission to be an officer and a fighter pilot. So looking forward to that, I had prepared myself